भगवते नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तां च जीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सागन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका राधा कान्ता वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are running through the sixth chapter's middle portion of how important is the mind control portion. I think that is where we saw. One second, I forget something. Yeah. So I think in the last phase three, we saw the mind conquered and perfection attained, where we saw the important section of four slokas together, where um, like how a lamp is very steady in a windless place. So the portion of wind is very important. It doesn't have any kind of turbulations, and it remains always same. And the perfection of the samadhi portion, that is what we saw in the last the entire big section of the sloka, right? Okay, I think then we should have to continue with the yeah, we saw from 20 to 23, four slokas we saw. Tad tam vidya dukkha samyoha yogam yoga samanyatam samajasitam. So this is what we saw in terms of what is called as trance in yoga. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let us continue with 24. Okay, we'll continue with sloka number 24. Please read the sloka and the translation. Everybody, Mataji's.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, 24. Danatpanam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sa nischayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvana sheshatah manasevendriya gramam viniyamya samantataha. Synonyms: Saha, that, Nishchayena, with firm determination, Yoktavya, must be practiced, Yoga, yoga system, Anirvinna Chetasa, without deviation, Sankalpa, mental speculations, Prabhavan, born of, Kaman, material desires, Tyaktva, giving up, Sarvan, all, Asheshataha, completely, Manasa, by the mind, Eva, certainly, Indriya Gramam, the full set of senses, Viniyamya, regulating Samantataha, from all sides. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides of the mind. Purport: the yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, Utsahan Nishchayat Dhairyat Tatkarma Pravartanat Sangatyagat Sato Vritte Shadbir Bhakti Prasidyati. One can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination by following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. Upadeshamrita 3. As for determination, one should follow the example of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of ocean. A sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. The sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean to return her eggs. The ocean did not even consider her appeal, so the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. She began to pick out the water in her small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. The news of her activity spread, and at last Garuda, the gigantic bird carrier of Lord Vishnu, heard it. He became compassionate toward his small sister bird, so he came to see the sparrow. Garuda was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. And thus Garuda at once asked the ocean to return her eggs, lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. The ocean was frightened at this and returned the eggs. Thus, the sparrow became happy by the grace of Garuda. Similarly, the practice of yoga, especially Bhakti Yoga in Krishna consciousness, may appear to be a very difficult job, but if anyone follows the principles with great determination, the Lord will surely help, for God helps those who help themselves. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
It's a very what a nice way to start the weekend. So weekend everybody are kind of relaxed, and then everybody is like, oh, what are we going to do? And some for some weekend is a big set of activities, right? But Prabhupada gives us this wonderful slokas purport, and then Krishna also makes it very nicely. So the importance of determination and faith is brought out. So in the 17th chapter and the other chapters also, the Dridhavrataha, like the determination and faith is the most important aspect. Not only success in material life, even in the spiritual life also, this determination and faith go hand in hand for practice. So certain aspects, five or six major principles will always go hand in hand. What are they? Removing, controlling the senses, dividing all material desires, having faith, increasing their determination, and continuous practice. Right? So practice is always very good, and determination also will be there. Faith also should keep on increasing, and material certain things will should always go away. Material desire should go away. Sense control should be there. So all um, sense attractive things should go away, and then we should bring. So abandon. So nice point is Vinimaya Samantataha. Samantataha here means from all directions. So our mind and senses will get distracted through all ways, okay, through all possible ways. Manasva indriye gramam vinimyaya samantataha. So being very, very cautious is very important. That is what Krishna is saying. But Prabhupada gives a very nice assurance. What is that assurance? That success is sure for the rigid practitioner. So this is very good, right? So when this kind of an affirmation gives us that yes, we should try, we should make. Okay, so that is where Krishna is also making that yoga practitioner. Okay, so yoga practitioner is very important, and without deviation. So that is what Prabhupada brings out from a bhakti perspective. So from a bhakti perspective, he quotes this like Utsaha Nishya Dharya Tata Karma Pravatana Changatyaga. So this sloka from Upadeshamrita Prabhupada is bringing in, and this story also. This story I believe most of you will know. Like does anybody doesn't know the story? Anybody? Okay, so
I
most
did
of
not know, Prabhuji.
you don't know. Okay, so this story goes this way in a very simple understanding. So once this small sparrow, this is actually from the Vedas, like somewhere the no, from the Vedas also give a lot of small stories. Okay, today I was reading Bhagavatam, one section where Prabhupada brings in this Dr. Frog philosophy. So everybody understood, Dr. Frog philosophy like more from our Sampradaya perspective. But when you go through the Vedas, that this is called Andakupa. Andakupa means well, and then blind well, and then Kappa means frog. So that the philosophy is there from the Veda period. Same way, this particular sloka also is there from our Vedas time. So where this small bird, it tried to have a nest on the oceans or seashore, and then one big wave came and took away the eggs. So the eggs went inside the sea, I mean inside the ocean or sea, and it didn't return back. So the small sparrow was crying. Mother sparrow was asking, please give it back, and the ocean did not even bother about it. So immediately what he do, he became angry, and he started taking the water, taking the water in a small beak, flying far away to another far away place. He will drop the water and come back and say, if you don't give me the my eggs, I will displace you, or I will move you from this particular place to another. So like that, she was determined. It it started taking water. So it was going on for many days, and all others started laughing at the bird. What is this? Is an impossible task, right? However, the king of all the birds, Garuda, heard about this, and he saw that no, this small sparrow has been doing this determined activity and with complete faith. So Garuda comes, and then 1 second. So Garuda comes, and then it says, "I will help you." And then immediately, you know about Garuda's power. The entire Lord's manifestation, Lord, the Garuda is the carrier of the Supreme Lord. So one scoop of the entire ocean will come on Garuda, right? So then immediately the ocean god became afraid, and then it returned the eggs. So let's not go from a logical perspective how this will happen, but from a philosophical understanding perspective, and the lesson learned is more from how the small bird is determined. So whatever be our situation, when we are fully focused on what is that is required from our side, then everything will become possible. Okay, that is what the same way practice of bhakti yoga may appear very difficult job. All of us would have undergone this particular difficulty, and we are still finding it difficult, right? But we are somehow having that faith that no, it should get going. Okay, we have the determination get going, and also association with devotees also this, right? So this is where Krishna is giving that that affirmation portion. Manasindriya gramam vinimya samya tektva sarvan yatahira yoga nirvinna chetasaha. So that sankalpam should be there, like getting out of this mental speculations and having that determination. Okay. This next sloka is also same. Sanay sanay ruparamet buddhaya dhritigrityaha atma samstam manakritva nakinchit apichintayat. Sanay sanay, which means step by step. Very beautiful, right? So it's not that it will become a spontaneous way. So Krishna himself is saying the practice of bhakti yoga or practice of dhyana yoga from this sloka, this chapter's perspective is also a step by step gradual progression. And Prabhupada is making that point also. Gradually, step by step, upramet. Upramet means just holding back, just controlling certain aspects. Buddhaya, performance of actions with buddhi. Dhriti gritteha, conviction. Dhriti, conviction. Atma samsitam. So place the Atma or the understanding of who we are, and then the Atma are the more placed, and what? Mana kritva nakinchayat. So focusing the mind is very important. Api chinta, it should not even think about chinta. Chinta means we all know, thinking about. So we should never think about anything else except for the Supreme Lord, except for the Paramatma sitting inside. Okay. So here, thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone. Here the self means what? Two aspects of the self. One is myself, who I am, and within me, who I am, who is there. Okay, generally, from a monotheistic perspective, Atma, having thinking about oneself, they will say, okay, Aham Brahmasmi, which means I am the Brahma, which is one way partially true, but not the full extent. So that is where we need to understand. Self here means from a dhyana perspective, sitting in a particular position, focusing the mind, controlling the senses, start thinking about the Paramatma inside. So this three main aspects are there. What is it? Sanasayar Upayame. Gradually, step by step. Buddhaya, second. Third, conviction. Grihataya. San, what? Manakritva na kapichin. Which means what? Don't fix your mind on anything else except for the Sutra. Okay, so beautifully Krishna brings that point. Okay, at that point on there's no longer of any danger of becoming engaged in material concepts. Okay, one should think of no pleasure aside from the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. This state is easily attained by directly. So see, Prabhupada is making it very nicely. This state is easily attained directly practicing Krishna. Full stop. That's all. Okay, so even for us also, when we started taking up Krishna consciousness, Sana said, so nobody will force, hey, you have to wake up at 4:30 Mangalarti. You have to give up everything immediately. You have to start this thing only. No, right? So all devotees are encouraged in their own pace, in their own way, but at the same time steady and determined. It's not like, okay, you take one full decade or one full lifespan to come out. No, by certain periods, certain progress should be seen. So the progress is based upon the individual's determination and faith. For some, the determination and faith will be just like that, it will come and immediately they will. So I know some devotees in Jurong, when we were trying to cultivate them, they were coming for Damodar program within a span of very few weeks. We were completely surprised. They just one day came and said, Prabhu, we want to stop all everything. And then I said, how are you going to stop? Because the utensils they have, everything all kind of contaminated. We want to start fresh from one particular day. I think Govardhan Puja time after. So one day they just came and told Prabhu, we have thrown away the cooker, we have thrown away all the vessels. Then I was like, oh my God. Then immediately we had some spare vessels, everything. Then we gave our spare cooker vessels, everything, and then they bought everything, and then they started. That's all. So it might come just like that fraction of that particular period. The determination and the spark has to be there, and then Krishna inside as Paramatma will make that intelligence come in, that conviction will come, and it will all go. Now they are all initiated, they are all very goodly in a way where this one. So it all depends upon that determination to take it up. Okay. Even this sloka also. Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram tato tats tatas tato niyam yat atmanyeva vasamvaya. Please read these three slokas are very important. Okay.
Hare Krishna. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. Purport. The nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady, but a self-realized yogi has to control the mind. The mind should not control him. One who controls the mind, and therefore the senses as well, is called Goswami or Swami. And one who is controlled by the mind is called Godas, or the servant of the senses. A Goswami knows the standard of sense happiness. In transcendental sense happiness, the senses are engaged in the service of Rishikesh, or the supreme owner of the senses, Krishna. Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That is the way of bringing the senses under full control. What is more, that is the highest perfection of yoga practice.
Okay. So Krishna himself is saying, oh, everything will be nice now. Krishna himself is saying, Manas chanchalam nishi. So definitely nischalati. It will be chalam, nischalam, achalam. Okay, three aspects are there in Sanskrit. Okay. Chalam means very clear, absolutely. Achalam means fully going, big swing. Like, achala buddhihi, like going. Nischala means sometimes good, sometimes bad. Going up, going up, going down, going down. The big swing is achala buddhi, like no, this one. Nischala means like sometime here, sometimes okay, sometime. And chanchalam. Chanchalam is small turbulences. Okay, that will be. Okay, so that is where we need to say flickering. Small flickering means small things, right? Achala buddhi. The word achala means no flickering, no disturbance, everything will be there. Okay. So we'll do one small workshop now. Okay, maybe we'll finish this. We'll finish these two slokas. Okay. Yeah, please read this sloka also. Mataji, anybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prasannata manasam.
Prashanta manasam.
Just a minute, sorry. Prashantam manasamba hi inam yoginam sukham uttamam upayati santa rajasam brahma bhutam akalmasam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme, and thus he is freed from all the reactions to past deeds. Brahma Bhuta is the state of being free from material contamination and situated in the transcendental service of the Lord. Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param, Bhagavad Gita 18.54. One cannot remain in the quality of Brahman, the Absolute, until one's mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. Savai Mana Krishna Pada Vindayo, to be always engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord or to remain in the Krishna consciousness is to be factually liberated from the mode of passion and all material contamination.
Okay, so Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Krishna is asking what? Prashantamanasam hyenam yoginam sukam uttamam. So, upaiti shantarajasam Brahma Bhuta kalmisham. So, we have to get into that identification of Brahma Bhuta stage. So, Prabhupada is also making Brahma Bhuta stage is where we get, even in second chapter, we will say Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So, that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma is the stage in which we attain that Brahman stage of not getting contaminated, not getting into the material intelligence, but at a little higher level from the material perspective. Okay, and then focusing the mind on Krishna is very important. That is to give the Prashantatma. Prashanta Manasa means the Atma will become very, very peaceful. But here, Prashanta Manasam means in one way it is like mind being happy. But what Prabhupada gives the beautiful purport understanding is Prashanta Manasam will only come only if it is fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. So if you read through any other Bhagavad Gita translation, it will just say Prashanta Manasam means what? Peaceful Manasa. Peaceful mind will be peaceful. But actually, what is the core essence of that peaceful mind is fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. So only through Prabhupada's meaning we'll be able to understand the real Acharya's real message or understanding the values, you'll be able to achieve it. It is not that Prashantamanasam, from a theoretical perspective, yeah, Prashantamanasam yoginam sukhamuttam. But how to do it is only at the understanding through Prabhupada's way. So fixed at the lotus feet of the Krishna. Okay, so very nicely it is bring. Okay. Maybe we'll continue this section. Before Arjuna starts talking, we will do one small exercise. Okay. Maybe before, yeah. Please continue the next slokas also. Prabhuji's.
Evam sadatmanam yogi vikata kalmasha shukena brahma samsprisham atyantam sukham asnute. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, the self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. Purport. Let's go off.
Sorry, bro. Yeah.
No. Self-realization means knowing one's constitutional position in relationship to the Supreme. The individual soul is part and parcel of the Supreme, and his position is to render transcendental service to the Lord. This transcendental contact with the Lord, with the Supreme, is called Brahma Samprasada.
Okay. Thank you, bro. Mataji, read this sloka's translation also. Next one. Thank you, bro. Next one. We'll come to this as all sections together. So we'll come back. Yeah. Mataji, anybody?
Text 29. सर्वभूतास्ततम् आत्मनं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि इक्षते योगयुक् आत्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शनः. Sarvabhutastatam, situated in all beings, Atmanam, the super soul, Sarva, all Bhutani, entities, Cha, also, Atmani, in the self, Ikashyate, does see, Yoga Yukta Atma, one who is devoted in Krishna consciousness, Sarvatra, everywhere, Samadarshana, seeing equally. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized man sees me everywhere. Purport: a Krishna conscious yogi. Hare Krishna. Okay. Purport: a Krishna conscious yogi is the perfect seed because he sees Krishna, the Supreme, situated in everyone's heart as a super soul Paramatma. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriday Dese Arjuna Tishtati. The Lord is in Paramatma feature is situated within the body, the heart of the dog and that of the Brahmana. The perfect yogi knows that Lord is eternal, transcendental and is not materially affected by his presence in either a dog or a Brahmana. That is the supreme neutrality of the Lord. The individual soul is also situated in the individual heart, but he is not present in all hearts. That is the distinction between the individual soul and the super soul. One who is not factually in the practice of yoga cannot see so clearly. A Krishna conscious person can see Krishna in the heart of both the bewildered and non-bewildered. In the Srimati, this is confirmed as follows.
अत तत्त्वाच्च मात्रत्वाद् आत्मा हि परमो हरिः. The Lord, being the source of all being, is like the mother and the maintainer. As the mother is neutral to all different kinds of children, the Supreme Father or Mother is also. Consequently, the Super Soul is always in everyone's living being. Outwardly, also, every living being is situated in the energy of the Lord. As will be explained in the seventh chapter, the Lord has primarily two energies, the spiritual or superior and the material or inferior. The living entity, although part of the superior energy, is conditioned by the inferior energy. The living entity is always in the Lord's energy. Every living entity is situated in him in one way or another. The yogi sees equally because he sees that all living entities, although in different situations according to the result of a fruitive work, in all circumstances remains the servant of God. While in the material energy, the living entity serves the material senses, and while in the spiritual energy, he serves the Supreme Lord directly. In either case, the living entity is the servant of God. This vision of equality is perfect in a person in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So these three, like this section onwards, the purports are a little larger. Okay, that Prabhupada emphasizes on very some specific important points. Okay, before that, maybe okay, for me, one who sees me everywhere and sees me everything in me, I am never lost, nor he is lost to me. This is what one of the important slokas from, similar to the Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravartate. Same way, yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha sorry, sarvascha mayi pashyati. Tasya aham na pranashyami Sachame na pranashyati. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. So if somebody see able to see me everywhere, sarvam cha mayi pashyati. So definitely he will never be get entangled or get diverted. Okay. For me, one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, both are two different aspects. Having seen Krishna from an energy manifestation perspective. And within that energy, everybody, whomsoever, from a Jivatma perspective or from a material manifestation perspective, that they will be able to see the hand of the Lord. They'll be able to see the realization that Paramatma is there. Okay. So for them, what? I'm never lost. And for not, he is ever lost to me. So definitely there is a permanent connection. Okay. So this loka and this sloka is also Ishate Yoga Yuktatma. So we'll do a small workshop file for 15 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes we will focus on two aspects, and then come back and then see how we can get the realization. How the mind, we were supposed to do it in the second chapter, but we'll try to do this in this chapter. Okay, more from a chanchalam himana Krishna perspective. Okay, so there are different ways to do it, but if you have your paper pen, or if you have your in your phone also, if you are able to note it down, let's say typically in one way, whatever you like about Krishna is one aspect, or currently the current subject matter is Rath Yatra going on, right? For example, when we say Snana Yatra is over, we are waiting for Rath Yatra. Okay, this is the topic. I'm just giving you this topic. For next 5-10 minutes, honestly, if you want to write in a paper, you can write. And or if you want to remember also, I don't know whether you'll be able to remember, but most importantly, this is a practical way of evaluating how much of deviation your mind goes. I'm using the word within a particular span of 5 minutes, within a span of 10 minutes, or within a span of a few minutes, whatever be it, how much of deviation the mind goes is the point. Okay. Honestly, you have to, this is all self evaluation only. Nobody's going to say why this and all. Okay. But you have to go by the parameters. I've given you the topic, and you don't have to write in detail, but just keep putting certain points based on the knowledge and understanding you have on the topic. Just write, keep writing one by one, two, three, whatever you know about the topic, whatever related to the topic, you keep putting it. First point. Second point is, honestly, if you feel like your mind has deviated to something else, somewhere you have kept the cooker, somewhere children is calling you, somewhere you have to go at 11:30 to some seva, whatever be it, or something, you just put that also, and try to have that list. Okay, Then we will come back. We will, if somebody wants to share also, we can share. Okay. Am I making the point clear? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, this workshop, I just wanted to ask one thing before related to BG 6.29 and 30.
Hmm.
Krishna says that anyone who sees me in everything else, including the goat or the cow, as well as human beings,
Hmm.
will never lose, can be focused on me. Actually, in the animals, it is possible, it is quite okay to be, they are quite friendly, but sometimes in practical life, if you try to see your, everybody does not show the evidence that the Krishna is in them. You try to behave very nicely with them, but the what for feedback is not so good. So in that condition, how do we control ourselves, Prabhu?
There are three ways to control, Prabhu. If you have full spiritual power, if you are able to have that determination, you just be calm, patient. Try to test your patience, calmness, tolerance, and just don't react at all. But if you feel like you will not, you are a little weak and you will not be able to bear, little weak in the sense you will have an outburst, you will give a reaction, and then it will get you into more of this one. You move away from the place or move away from the location, or just get your mind out of that particular spot. Whatever that is possible, try to do. But if you have a very higher thought, higher this one, you can try to you can try to pray to the Lord, and some way Lord will give you some kind of a upayam. Upayam means some idea or some kind of a thought in which you will be able to suppress or stop that particular person. So, for example, somebody is scolding you, somebody is giving you bashing, somebody's argument, and everything is like the person you see is like very agitated, very completely in a opposite. They are ill for us in a very bad thing. Where their ahankaram is on top of their head, whatever be it. If you feel like no, you will be able to do with your spiritual strength, with your energy, with this one, you attempt. But if you feel it is not though, second is try to just be patient, just be calm, take your mind completely into a different aspect. Practically, don't be there, not be there. That is the principle they will say. Just take your mind to somewhere else and don't get agitated. Whichever nice place you feel, wherever you feel like your mind will be happy, just immediately take your mind. That's all. So iskan se uskan. So it will go from here to here. That's all. Third is, even that is also not, it is situation. Try to move away from the situation. Move away, since you can go away or just close the door or this one. Okay. So sometimes reaction is also required, but if the reaction is not in a positive way, it becoming a negative way for either of them, better take your mind away. Even if your mind is not able to take away, be silent and be patient and calm. Even that is also not possible. Just move away from that particular place. Nobody will this one. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Try to make an attempt. So that is why these are all principles. Practical application will vary from person to person. This is like no doctor prescription. Like sometimes for certain milligrams it will work for them, certain things it will not work for them. But we'll have to make some attempts. That's all. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
So let us do this workshop. But only thing is you have to be honest with yourself, and it'll give you an evaluation of how your manam is chanchalam. Okay, Arjuna himself says chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Krishna himself is determining that. But the point is, I'm going to put you on one spot, one topic, so that the mind is at least focused on certain aspect of it. You can keep writing as much as possible as how much you are able to. In a way, it is the way to control the mind. I am putting you in a spot means I'm giving you a particular topic so that your mind keeps going deep into that. But after some time, your mind will be exhausted, which means the knowledge level of 1, 2, 3. I know only 10 points. Beyond that, I'm not able to think. Is one aspect. It is fine. But relatively, if you are able to start thinking, you will get more ideas. Like how the desires and thoughts will never stop. Same way, the relative knowledge that is being required for one particular topic will never stop. Okay. For example, when I'm going to say about Krishna, the last time I was asking about Chitta Hari Prabhu, how do you know Krishna is the supreme person of the Godhead? It is very one simple terminology. But if you go from a definition perspective, you will define Shad Aishwaryas, okay? Aishwarya, Samagrisha, Sugasha. So he is called the Bhagavan. But relative to that particular knowledge, you can get any other knowledge from all the Vedas, Upanishads, some Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everything. Whichever is practically possible from your mind. Same way, I'm giving you this topic today because we are meditating on Jagannath's pastimes nowadays from a Snana Yatra, from Rath Yatra perspective. Let us take that topic for 10 minutes. It's 9:10 now. Till 9:20, we can take it up. Whatever you know, you just put it. In one line or one dot also, whatever you are able to remember. Okay. At the same time, honestly, put another column or another sheet or another row and honestly put where and all your mind has gone. Okay. Then we will come back.
Actually, I have one question here. So regarding the points of Snani Yatra and Rath Yatra, as you stated that like me, I might know very basic things, but not all of the things.
Correct.
But then I'm sitting on my computer, I'm, tempted to look on Google to study about this. So that,
No, this is from mind. This is not from.
okay,
This is only from your whatever you know, whatever you are able to assimilate. Okay.
okay.
So this is like bringing from your hard disk. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, we will tell only about Snan Yatra and Rath Yatra, or also about our mind deviating?
Both. No. See, it is your. You can tell. You can write it down. Okay. I don't want you to tell your personal things that happen. Okay. That might your mind will go to somewhere to your gramam, your whatever. That is all. But this is where we will know how much it has been deviated. Okay. You understand? So I'm putting you in one ring, one fence, and trying to see how much you are absorbed in it. But at the same time, how much is going out is also important. Okay. So be honest about it. We will see. So as I told you, one is the absolute knowledge that you got, Amit Prabhu, but you have some relative knowledge, okay, which you don't know. When you try to invoke that, when you try to, provoke that relative knowledge, you will get so much of information. Okay, this is the tip that I'm giving to everybody. I know only Ratha Yatra, I know only the word Ratha Yatra, that is fine. But if you try to relate that Ratha Yatra word with Krishna, the entire world will open for you. Okay? Understood? All others, are we ready for the workshop? See, this is more from relative to this particular subject matter only. So we will try to see how much we are able to do a self-evaluation on it. So we'll start now, 9:10. We'll come back by 9:23 or something. Okay.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, thank you. What Krishna wants us to do is yato yati nischalati manasyanchalam astiram tato tasnayam yat atmanyeva vasamne. So whenever it is going back, we should have the ability, we should have the capacity, capability, whatever be the it, we should be able to bring it back. Okay, that is where the determination, that is where because definitely it is flickering, it is unsteady, it is this one. Okay, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back to under the control of the self. Okay, that is where it is the most important. Okay, so now how many you can put your number also. For example, if you have thought about Rath Yatra, you can, if you put 1, 2, 3, 4, I know Rath Yatra is for Jagannath Bali Subhadra. Rath Yatra is done in Orissa. How you should have done it? Ideally, Rath Yatra is happening in Orissa. Rath Yatra happening every year once. Shukla Paksham, it is happening on Shukla Paksham. Rath Yatra is happening for Jagannath Bali Subhadra. Rath Yatra is Anavarshan, this one. Before that, Snana Yatra. Then, so like that, you might have put some specific points, right? Hopefully, same way, what is the number of points in which your mind got diverted or deviated? For example, if this is 10, this is 15, or this is 25, this is 5. Honestly, the proportion ratio between which is large will determine how much of deviation is there. Okay? Clear?
Yes,
Now, Yeah. So now let us hear about what and all you were able to think from a knowledge sharing perspective. Anybody?
So, Prabhuji, I'll share something funny. So, there is a very famous cartoon, Jai Jagannath. So,
Mm.
I think our Sampradaya people are behind it. So, me and my daughter and my wife, we see that a lot. So, there are a
Mm.
lot of points regarding Rath Yatra and Snan Yatra in that. So, I have written from that, Snan Yatra given bath to deities. They fall ill for 15 days.
Yes. Yes.
Then he gets cured. And then Rath Yatra begins. They
Mm.
travel outside the temple to Gundicha Mai Mandir, and
Mm.
they also say it's like Jagannath comes out to give mercy to the people who are not able to come in.
Mm.
Then somehow I went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how his ecstatic pastimes with Lord Jagannath's Rath, and how he used to cry and people used to collect his tears.
Mm.
And then what happens after Rath Yatra come back, and yeah, some points like this only, Prabhuji. To be honest, the time was less and this topic was interesting, so my mind was going there only.
Okay. So did your mind go to anywhere else, honestly? I mean, if you want to share, you can share. Otherwise, it's okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. I mean, I got breakfast, so I was thinking about, you know,
Okay. Fine. Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mm.
So yeah, besides the Snan Yatra, I remembered the how late I was for the Abhishek during in the temple, and but I was fortunate that I was able to see the lordships before he went into before he went off.
Mm.
And then I remember the pastime where about the Indradyumna Maharaj and the wife Kundecha. So at that point of time, I was like trying to, okay, this is the, with wife Kundecha, it was like the parental rasa that was expressed. And at that point of time, I also remember during the time when he is inside, how pandas treat him with, the food, and how they, I'd seen a video wherein the language they speak. So I was like envious of pandas. There is when my mind got flickered, and then I came back. Yeah, but I related. Yes, then that's a friendly devotional service that uh, um, where they exhibit. And yeah, at one point of time when I was also thinking about the Snan Yatra and how they fill 108 pots of sacred water. So that point of time, my mind deviated, remembering that I have to send a welcome mail to students, to my students. So yeah.
Okay. Nice. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else? Prabhuji's?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, I just want to share that I was also writing down the points. Then suddenly my mind flickered. I said, long time since I have seen the Rath Yatra. And then I started thinking, is there a direct flight to Bhubaneswar from Singapore? Then again, my mind drifted and said, I have to be careful of my iPhone, hand phones, otherwise they will get stolen. Then I managed to drag it back and, concentrate on the other things.
Yeah. So some practice. This is from the past experience. So somewhere else, for uncertain situation, you might have heard that experience. It can have a bad experience, so you have to be a little more cautious. Even though the mind wants to go in a right direction, because the mind was like kind of more experienced with a bad experience. Immediately that will overcome whatever is more what is more is required. Oh, yeah. Good, Prabhu. Thank you. Okay. One last. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Hare
Prabhu. Actually,
Mm.
we went Rath Yatra a few times, and we already associate with the. Whenever we go to Rath Yatra, then all the incidents recalls. Actually, like we lost phone. Sometimes children goes haywire, and during Rath Yatra, the stampede happens. All this incident comes in. But even then, we remember the Jagannath mercy. He come out and give his darshan on a road. Those poor people who cannot come inside his temple. So it was a very great mercy of him, and he's always loving. Yeah, these all incidents I could able to recall whenever I think of Rath Yatra.
Okay. Nice. Did your mind deviate anywhere else, Prabhu?
Yeah. Actually, I reviewed because this year I couldn't go. Yeah. So actually, I mean, I regret why I couldn't plan earlier all these things.
Okay. Yeah, somebody else was saying, Prabhu. Thank you,
Hare,
Prabhu. Sachijita, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, since the time was very short, the mind was not deviating much. But I think if the time is prolonged further, I think it starts deviating.
Correct.
One thing I remember, Prabhu, it's like last time, 1 week back, we were in Lankavi for a trip, and suddenly we get to know that there is Radha Yatra happening. So we went to there to attend Ratha Yatra, and so it's like a nice village in between three hills. So I was just remembering all that village and how Indian community was settled there, all that. So,
Nice. Good.
thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you,
If
Prabhu.
you see, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Matis. If you see from a relative experience, knowledge, everything, some are very immediate happen. Like, for example, how Hemam Prabhu was saying, immediate experience that happened really recently. So, whichever, so when your mind is put in a particular spot, particular thing, how does it act? Whichever is immediately happen, that will come first. And whichever is, like, for example, Sachita Prabhu was saying, which is like kind of a long happened, but it is very deeply affected, right? So that will also will come. So either way, and for example, Amit Prabhu was mentioning about which is more quick, like cartoons, like everybody are attracted to it. It's like more of sensual attraction, but with deeper spiritual knowledge, right? Yeah, for me also somebody sent me a lot of Jagannath pastimes where that cartoon where Jagannath and Jagannath will go stealing mango, stealing jackfruit, all these wonderful pastimes, like right, hasya pastimes. So this is how the mind will work. Okay, the understanding of the how the mind is, certain things which has happened immediately, certain things which is long deep happened that is already there which you are not able to fulfill, sometimes which is like relatively like it will happen in between these experiences and control in the mind. In between all these things, your mind will definitely go to somewhere else also. Okay, so if you keep putting down the number of points, you will see how much you know. Okay, sometimes we will think I don't know anything, but actually speaking, if you start putting a certain specific way of understanding how much you know, a particular process or a way by which you will be able to get, you will see, so oh wow, I know so much. You yourself will feel that yes, I think I'm, because you can utilize the knowledge for concentrating your mind. Okay, the purpose is like that. Second is you don't know also is there. Okay, that is also very important. So that will also trigger more of understanding. In between these two aspects, how much your unsteady mind, chanchalam astram, it has gone out and come back. So this will give you a kind of what do you say, a self-evaluation of how much of deviation the mind goes. For example, when you're sitting and chanting. Okay, the what people generally say chanting means it will go definitely go away. Yes. Okay, for a long period, like how Hema Prabhu mentioned. So for a short duration itself, you if you are able to focus, concentrate, long duration, it will definitely go away. It will definitely go away. But whenever it goes away, you have to bring it back. For that, what you have to do is practice. Where today, okay, today for 1.5 hours, I'm going to chant 16 rounds of chanting. Let my mind focus on Jagannath. Let my focus mind on Radha Raman. Let my mind focus on Krishna's Kaliya pastime. Let my mind focus on Krishna's Vrindavan pastime. Whatever be it, you put a gate, you put a point to it. Let's say previous day you had, today we are having Vyasa Puja of Maharaj. So let's say you think about that aspect. You put a fence to that mind. At least to certain extent, whenever it goes out, today's my topic is only about this. Then automatically the mind will come back. The only thing is we are not putting the fence to the mind, which means today's topic. What is today's topic? Fix that. Today my chanting is only focusing on Krishna's Chaitanya Charitamrita Leela. Today mind, so you can think about anything whichever you like, whichever you heard. For example, you heard a very nice pastime today, you hear about a lecture, whatever be, you are hearing about Bhagavatam, whatever be, today I'm going to think about Tulsi Maharani. Fix your mind. So mind will definitely go. No doubt about it. But whenever you come back, your mind should be focusing on Tulsi Maharani only. Tulsi Maharani is this, Tulsi Maharani that, this, that. You will see then you will be able to think. If you want to think about Srimati Radharani, if you want to think about the topics are numerous, right? He is achintya. He is like nothing can be stopped. So this is a way where the what do you say, the practical way of bringing back the unsteady mind. Okay, Atmanyeva Vasham Nashe. So we have to bring it back. That is the most important of. Say everybody will do. It's not that I don't. But who is the winner or who is the winner here means the person who is able to this one. This person who is able to bring it back. Clear? Are we clear on this subject?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. I mean, this fencing your mind technique for chanting is very good. I mean, we will try to implement that because sometimes we are so lazy that we say to Krishna, "Today my mind is not in control. Please forgive me. I'll just do the chanting mechanically."
Now you have to
We
force
do
your
that.
mind. Yeah, force it.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Let's say, how do your mind gets prepared? For example, tomorrow there is a big event going to happen, right? Tomorrow the school is going to, like how Mataji was saying, tomorrow I have to send email to all the welcome email to all the new students joining. So mind will start preparing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what will happen. Then after that, so it's a preparation that you are putting the mind to work on the future aspect. Same way, you put your mind for a particular future one also, whatever be it, or the current one, whatever be it, then at least the mind is fixed, ring fenced into it. Then you will see how much of deviation is happening. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Okay, let's read. You can quickly keep reading the purports. Okay, for next 15-20 minutes, let's keep reading the purports. Yeah. So this Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam cha Mayi Pashyati Tasyaham na Pranashyami Sachamena Pranashyati. Okay, please read the purport.
A person in Krishna consciousness certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere and he sees everything in Krishna. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but in each and every instance he is conscious of Krishna, knowing that everything is the manifestation of Krishna's energy. Nothing can exist without Krishna, and Krishna is Lord of everything. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna, a position transcendental love even to material liberation. At this stage of Krishna consciousness, beyond self-realization, the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee and the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. An intimate relationship between Lord and the devotee then exists. In that state, the living entity can be annihilated, can never be annihilated, nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of the sight of a devotee. To merge in Krishna is spiritual annihilation. A devotee takes no much risk. It is stated in Brahma Samhita 538. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaga Sataiva Hrudyeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Ashintya Gunaswarupam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It worships the primal Lord Govinda, who is always seen by devotee whose eyes are anointed with pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Shamasundara, situated within the heart of a devotee. At this stage, Lord never disappears from the sight of devotee, nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord as Paramatma within the heart, the same applies. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee and cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. I'm going to ask one question. Who can answer this? What is the problem that gopis are facing or faced when you read through Bhagavatam, when you read the stories and all,
Separation of Krishna.
Prabhu, sorry?
Separation from Krishna.
Separation from Krishna is one aspect. Okay. That is another thing. Anything else?
They're complaining that they have eyelids, Prabhuji, that
Yes, okay.
Brahma, they
Yeah.
complain to Brahma.
Okay. Then
They have left their families also
with
for
the
Krishna.
numbers. Okay. That is not the problem for them.
It's
That
not,
is not,
it's not a problem, yes, Prabhuji.
that is not a problem. Related
Hare
to this,
Krishna.
yeah, Prabhu. Then we
At one time they became a little bit proud. Then Krishna left them. That's one
yeah.
on
Sorry.
their.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Yeah, that is also true. So,
Virahada.
Prabhu?
Virahadaham, that the anger
That is
God.
separation. Yeah, Viradham, separation. So now if you see, if I give you one topic, what happens? Your mind just starts going and keep on searching all kind of answers based upon your intelligence, your knowledge, everything, and bringing back whatever you know. Correct? Same way only when you try to put a question to your mind will start thinking about it. So this is also another way of controlling your mind. Okay. So when the gopis, what is the biggest problem for gopis is they are not able to forget Krishna. Okay, the separation is one aspect. Pride came is another aspect. All this. The main problem, eyelids also another. It's in a way they want to pray to Lord Brahma, but most important problem for them is they're not able to forget Krishna. For us, that is not the problem. For us, that is what we want. But for them, it is because there's so much of attached. That is what Prabhupada is also bringing from the purport and everything. Premanjana Churita Bhakti. So if you're anointed with the love of God, there is not even a single second your eyesight. Here eyesight means not the material eyes of opening and closing eyes. This is eyes of the inner heart. That is your feeling, right? It will never get deviated. You'll never get this one. Okay. So for the gopis, they might be doing some other activity, they might be doing this, that, and all, but not even for one kshanam, one moment also, they are not able to forget Krishna. Okay, that is where we need to see how a pure devotee, this is where because in order to be a pure devotee cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself. Okay, this is what we will have to understand how. So all the gopis are glorified because they are all great yogis. Right? So that is where we need to understand. So another way of ring fencing your mind is just not putting a topic, putting a question, putting a very tough question also. Whatever be it, put a question to yourself. Tomorrow, for example, today evening when we are all meeting, right? For example, next 3 months we'll make one exercise. Okay. Because we are going to see in the evening time only, for example, I'm saying. So first of all, if any of the two devotees, any of the Prabhujis or Matajis meeting, first thing you will say, Hare Krishna, you ask this question to the other Prabhuji. Okay. What was your topic today? Okay. See, if the person, for example, Karthik Prabhu is meeting Amit Prabhu or Hemambara Prabhu is meeting me or whomsoever, first question we have to ask is, this is a practice that we did during the workshop sessions. We were there for 1 week workshop session. So what our mentor told was, you put it in this way. Tomorrow or then tomorrow evening or today evening when we all meet each other, you ask this question. What was the topic of your which means I have ring fenced my mind for my chanting today, and I did chanting based on this particular topic. Okay, or I asked a question for myself, and then that is how my mind was trying to be. Honestly, you can put it out also, and don't generate the answer during when somebody is asking you. Okay, somebody is coming and asking you that moment. Oh, Prabhu, actually, I was about to think about Prashadam, but actually my mind didn't. No, be very honest. Now, if you have already finished your chanting, that's okay. If you have not finished your chanting, if you are halfway finishing your chanting, whatever be it, today after the session, just put a topic for that period and do the chanting. Okay. So next time, next 3 months, when whomsoever you meet, what was your topic? You really ask that point so that you will force somebody else. And also for us also, next time when we want to do chanting, or next time when we want to ring fence our chanting, ring fence our mind, sorry, ring fence our mind, then at least we will know, okay, I have to force, I have to force. Then only it will work. Otherwise, it will never work. It will get completely deviated. Okay, let's try that for some weeks. Okay, yeah, please read. Sarva bhutastinam yomam bhajati ekatvam achitah sarvata vartamanopi sayogi mayi vartate. This, okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sorry, can I ask one question before we start reading this? Just with regards to the chanting and the thoughts of our mind that you were just now explaining. Prabhuji, like for example, if we have a seva coming up and our mind starts contemplating on that seva. For example, if there is a decoration seva coming up, sometimes during chanting, our mind will contemplate on how we can decorate the altar and those kind of things. Are those thoughts okay, or should we try to keep those thoughts also away during chanting and maybe just think about the dealers of the room?
It is not wrong. It is called planning chanting. Planning chanting means it will start planning. It will plan so nicely during chanting only. Okay, all other times the mind will not, because you have other divisions.
Because somehow it happens, Roji, every time I sit to chant, if there's a seva coming up, all the thoughts will start pouring in that time only.
Yeah, that is definitely, it will come. Okay, that will definitely come. No, nothing will stop. Which is not wrong. Okay, it is not wrong. Which is okay. But if you ask me, it is very good means I don't think it is very good, because it will actually divert from the real essence of
Yeah,
chanting.
because then we tend not to hear the name, and then the mind is just thinking about the seva and not focusing so much on hearing the names during chanting.
Correct. So, to answer it, yes, it is not wrong, but at the same time, not good. But it's okay. I mean, planning chanting it to some extent is okay, but you try to bring it back. It will definitely go. Like, for example, now Mataji was mentioning, she is really going into the school aspect of how to do, what to do, whomsoever. So that is one way, completely planning. Okay.
But I mean, that's what I want to understand. Like planning the material stuff obviously is totally a no-go. But when it is related to Krishna, is that also a no-go, or
No go
is it
only.
still acceptable to?
No go only. Why? Because the essence of chanting will get diluted.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to understand.
Will get diluted. Because then the pride will slowly come. Yeah, I have to do this. I have to ensure this is perfect. This now. Then the actual essence of being chanting is to be that asking for, you're actually chanting for seva. Okay, you're asking for seva. That is where it will get diluted.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I ask one question?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, while chanting, because I keep on trying different method, because nothing works permanently. So in my case, like sometimes I any Maharaj like lecture I will play, which I've already listened, but then I do the chanting as well. Is it okay or not?
Honestly, it is not okay, because your mind is already gone into that. Okay, but if you want to do it, you listen to the chanting for first, listen to the lecture for 5-10 minutes, then stop it, then you start contemplating on it, and then you chanting. That is at least okay. At least you're listening to whatever you're chanting, and your mind is contemplating on the points mentioned by Maharaj, which is kind of a little bit okay. But if you continually listen and then chant, means you are actually uh, your mind is not in the chanting. Your mind is completely on what the topic that Maharaj was trying to convey.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So how do you ring fence it? Okay, today I'm going to understand about what I'm trying to attempt to understand about what Maharaj told about that particular topic. Okay, so you put that and then you start chanting. So when you start chanting, at least certain points that Maharaj told this, Maharaj told that, it is related to Krishna, this is related. So slowly your mind will be focusing on that and your chanting will continue. But at least when your mind goes to somewhere else, it will at least pull back to this. So this is all at the primary level. Later on, going little more further is to focus on one particular topic that will actually help you on the next stage of chanting. This is whatever I told you is at the very primary level. Next stage is, today I'm going to think about only my chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Then it will go into that. So if you ask me from a response perspective, no. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, let's finish reading the purports quickly. Yeah, please read the purport, Prabhu. Mataji, anybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
A yogi who is practicing meditation on super soul sees within himself the plenary portion of Krishna as Vishnu, with four hands, holding conch shell, wheel, club, and lotus flower. The yogi should know that Vishnu is not different from Krishna. Krishna is the form of super soul is situated. Krishna in the form of super soul is situated in everyone's heart. Furthermore, there is no difference between the innumerable super souls present in the innumerable hearts of living entities. Nor is there a difference between a Krishna conscious person always engaged in transcendental loving service of Krishna and a perfect yogi engaged in meditation on the super soul. The yogi is Krishna consciousness. Even though he may be engaged in various activities while in material existence, remains always situated in Krishna. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.21.187 of Srila Rupa Goswami, Nikhilasva Apya Avasthasu Jivna Muktaya Sa Yuchyate. A devotee of a devotee a devotee of Lord always acting in Krishna consciousness is automatically liberated in Narada Panchatantra. This is confirmed in this way. Dikkaladya anavachane Krishne cheto vidhyaye cha tanmayo bhavata kripram jivo brahmani yojyate. By concentrating one's attention on transcendental form of Krishna, who is all pervading and beyond time and space, one becomes absorbed in thinking of Krishna and then attains the happy state of transcendental association with him. Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of trance in yoga practice. This very understanding that Krishna is present as Paramatma in everyone's heart make the yogis faultless. The Vedas, Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.21 confirm this inconceivable potency of Lord as follows. Eko pi san bahudha yo vibhati. Although the Lord is one, he is present in innumerable hearts as many. Similarly, in the Smriti Shastra, it is said, Ekava paro Vishnu sarvavyapi na samyeha. आशीर्वाद रूपम एकम च सूर्यवत बुद्ध बहुधेयते. Vishnu is one and yet he is certainly all pervading by his inconceivable potency. In spite of his one form, he is present everywhere as sun appears in many places at once.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Paramshri Brahmataji, one more point that I wanted to add to the previous discussion we had. You were trying multiple methods and then nothing is successful. So you were reporting that point. So my suggestion, typically, what we typically do is don't try multiple methods very frequently. Okay. Generally, you fix one method for a particular duration. Let's say this whole month of July, I'll follow only one method. One method might be if I'm fixing, okay, this July month I will ensure I will do in this method only every day 4:30 5:30 every day, like so some step you follow and then you try to do. Then if you feel like it is not coming, then you jump to another method. The only thing is the methods will take some time to fructify, which means the output of whatever you are trying to practice or you are putting in from a practical application perspective may not come immediately. Okay, because it depends upon the type of the method also. And at the same time, if you jump from one method to another method very frequently, it is like it will never get fixed. So it is always recommended. Let's say whole of Kartik month, I will ensure I wake up at 4:30, I finish my 16 rounds, then will do everything. That is one kind of pratyajna, one kind of determination you take. And then the whole of this month, I will not drink water also. I'll finish chanting only. And then you will say, I will focus my mind only on Kartik pastimes. I'll focus my mind only on Vrindavan pastimes. I'll focus my mind on this one. I will not do anything else. Like that, you try to ring fence it and focus that method for a particular duration. Then you can jump to another duration, another method. If that method is definitely not working due to whatever reasons, then you jump to another method. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I do at the usually evening time, when everybody sleep. So but the mind, it is very disturbing, so I just play that lecture, I just take one point so that I can connect to the Krishna, not the whole lecture, so that I just
That's okay.
focus that
That's
past
what I'm
time, I
saying.
just try to think. But what you are saying also is right, like frequently no need to change, like one fixed thing. I will try that, Prabhuji. But I'm trying to do it in the morning, which is not possible for me
That's
actually.
okay. I mean, see, that's what I'm saying. So for everybody's practicality is different. That's okay. But only thing is, how much of dilution is happening is what we'll have to see. That's all.
Yeah, because morning is better, morning I tried one and a few times, it is good, the quality was very good. Night it is very tired, and yeah,
Yeah.
so I will try, Prabhuji, I will try.
Correct. Everybody are trying to be trying their best. That's all. Okay. Thank you. So this
Prabhuji,
Loka's
since we are
purpose. Yeah, Prabhu.
sorry, Prabhuji, since we are on the topic, just one question. Since you also mentioned that, sometimes we should focus on the pastimes of the Lord during the chanting to ring fence our mind. I had a discussion with a couple of senior devotees earlier, and they recommended this. But my question was more of, like sometimes when you have spent enough time in Krishna consciousness, you have read through enough scriptures, you know about a lot of pastimes. But for some people like me who are starting, I mean, who know pastimes, but not in detail. And when you are doing the chanting, I mean, for 2 hours, you don't have that much of knowledge about the pastimes, uh, to go through them. So in that case, what should we do? I mean, we know pastimes, but little bit here and there, here and there, here and there, not in detail. So in that case, how should we proceed, Prabhuji?
That's okay, Prabhu. See, you expand your this one. Okay, no, it's not that only pastime. Okay, pastime plus something else. Pastime plus something. So you expand that knowledge. That's okay. It's not that okay. Oh, my limited knowledge is very less. I don't know. I don't know the 89 different. If you read through Krishna book, there are around 90 pastimes, right? So if you spend 3 months of your time with your daughter daily reading one chapter or one story with your daughter, within 3 months you will know 90 stories of Krishna. Okay, so that is one way of understanding. The other way of seeing is you can expand that. As I mentioned, it is not only about the stories, Leela. His Rupam also you can understand. If you take Mahabharata itself, it will go for many days. Not only his form, not only his Leela, not only his name. Okay, you can expand that. It's not to restrict one particular Leela only or all the Leelas only. You can expand that, Prabhu. That is okay.
Sometimes, Prabhu, I try. I try to put the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in front of me and just do the chanting. I mean, the mantra to see that and just chant and try not to think of anything and just keep seeing that.
That is also okay. That is also absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. That is also absolutely fine. No issues. And if your topic if your mind is kind of saturated, the word saturation is used, is saturated and like you cannot go beyond that, then you jump to another topic, another like let's say you want to think about devotees, you want to think about Bhagavatam's great devotees, or you want to think about anybody else. So like that you keep you keep focusing on one aspect. If it is saturated, you can come to another aspect, but still you are within that particular fence only. That is okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Typically, we give this example, no? You think about elephant, don't think about elephant means you know so much of things about elephant, right? So unimaginably, you will think. I was one day I was astonished when we did this exercise. I was asking somebody, don't think about elephant. No, somewhere thinking to some extent, to whatever knowledge they have. But one small boy, we were like, no, he was like 15 or 16 years. Unimaginably, he was thinking about elephant. Like, no, nobody could even. So, because the brain was working so hard that nobody could believe, I was astonished by the output of whatever he thought. He gave a 15-minute points. More than 50, 70 points came out of line of that elephant. It includes Shastras also. It included Devatas. It includes stories from Africa. It includes stories from cartoon. It includes stories from Amar Chitrakatha. I was like 15-year-old boy. Just I we the same exercise also we did, right? So don't think about elephant means we just think few things only. He went to Jumbo Circus. He went to. I was like completely astonished. So brain is super powerful. Nothing. Our brain is unstoppable. And our brain here means our mind also. So if you start thinking about so deeply, we ourselves, you yourself will be astonished that you have so much of information and knowledge. You make an attempt, then you will get it. Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Let's continue. Yeah, Mataji, anybody, please read this translation.
Hare Krishna. He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. Purport by His Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by a dint of his own personal experience. The cause of distress of a living entity is forgetfulness of his relationship with God. And the cause of happiness is knowing Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer of all activities of the human being, the proprietor of all lands and planets, and the sincerest friend of all living entities. The perfect yogi knows that the living being who is conditioned by the modes of material nature is subjected to threefold material miseries due to forgetfulness of his relationship with Krishna. And because one in Krishna consciousness is happy, he tries to distribute the knowledge of Krishna everywhere. Since the perfect yogi tries to broadcast the importance of becoming Krishna conscious, he is the best philanthropist in the world and he is the dearest servitor of the Lord. Nacha tasman Manushya Kashchin Me Priya Kritama, Bhagavad Gita 18.69. In other words, a devotee of the Lord always looks to the welfare of all living entities, and in the way he is factually the friend of everyone. He is the best yogi because he does not desire perfection in yoga for his personal benefit, but tries for others also. He does not envy his fellow living entities. Here is a contrast between a pure devotee of the Lord and yogi interested only in his personal elevation. The yogi who has withdrawn to a secluded place in order to meditate perfectly may not be as perfect as devotee who is trying his best to turn every man towards Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So very nice point. One becomes happy in Krishna consciousness. He tries to distribute the knowledge of Krishna everywhere. This is a very important aspect what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to us. Like, no, I'm just a gardener. I don't have what do you say, and the strength and capacity to distribute everywhere. So I need more people, right? So that is where Prabhupada, I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned, I need more people to come out and then do. So which means, actually, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but still he wanted us to be fully under his protection, where we will do the seva for him, right? So he can do whatever he wants, but still he mentioned that very clearly. The knowledge or the preaching aspect of Krishna conscious should be taken out to everybody. So Prabhupada is making that he is the best philanthropist, one who takes Krishna to everybody, one who gives the knowledge of about Krishna, one who makes understand the Lord's supremacy and understand who we are is the best servant. And he is the Nachaman Tasman Manusheshu Kashin Me Priyakratama. He is the most dearest servitor of the Lord. Okay, so that is why book distributors are very, very dear to the God. And whomsoever preaching are considered very, very dear to the Supreme Lord, because that is what will please the Supreme Lord. All others, everything will please the Lord, but very clear, very, very dearest. The word dearest is the adjective, superlative adjective, right? So that is where we need to understand. Okay. In other words, a devotee of the Lord always looks to the welfare of all entities, and he is Suhritam Sarvabhutanam, right? Krishna is the Suhritam Sarvabhutanam. Same way, we need to see how he is. So he is the best yogi. Prabhupada is also making that point very clearly. Okay. Okay, we'll finish this particular Chanchalam Himana Krishna. We'll talk about Arjuna coming to the now. Arjuna has come. Now Arjuna will say, Yo, I am. So now, so far, Krishna spoke about mind controls. Krishna spoke about how it has to be done, what it has to be done, and all the aspects. Now Arjuna is taking kind of little, kind of a logical break point where Arjuna will come and ask, Yoyam yogas tvatpriyo tvaya proktaha samyena madhusudana etyaham na pashyami chanchalavat stiram stitam stiram. Okay. The system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical, unendurable, but the mind is resting clear. Okay. This is what Krishna, Arjuna is coming here. Yo ayam. Okay. Ayam yoga tvaya proktaha samyena madhusudane. So it looks like completely impossible. Okay. Completely impractical. Chanchalam Himana Krishna, Pramati Bhalvat. So 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. These 3, 4 slokas will go hand in hand. Okay. Yeah. Any Prabhujis want to read the purport, or we can skip the purport? It is good. The purport is very good. Please read. Anybody? Prabhuji?
The purport, I'll read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Purport: the system of mysticism described by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, beginning with the words Shuchau Deshe and ending with Yogi Parama, is here being rejected by by Arjun, out of a feeling of inability. It is not possible for an ordinary man to leave home and go to a secluded place in the mountains or jungles to practice yoga in this age of Kali. The present age is characterized by bitter struggle for life of short duration. People are not serious about self-realization even by simple practical means. And what to speak of this difficult yoga system which regulates the mode of living, the manner of sitting, selection of place, and detachment of the mind from material engagements. As a practical man, Arjun thought it was impossible to follow the system of yoga, even though he was favorably endowed in many ways. He belonged to the royal family and was highly elevated in terms of numerous qualities. He was a great warrior. He had a great longevity, and above all, he was the most intimate friend of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 5,000 years ago, Arjun had much better facilities than we do now, yet he refused to accept this system of yoga. In fact, we do not find any record in history of his practicing it at any time. Therefore, this system must be considered generally impossible in this age of Kali. Of course, it may be possible for some very few rare men, but for the people in general, it is an impossible proposal. If this were so 5,000 years ago, then what of the present day? Those who are imitating this yoga system in different so-called schools and societies, although complacent, are certainly wasting their time. They are completely in ignorance of the desired goal. Hare Krishna.
Continue this translation purport also. It will go together.
Translation, Prabhu, or both?
Both translation purport.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita 6:34. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. Purport: the mind is so strong and obstinate that it sometimes overcomes the intelligence, although the mind is supposed to be subservient to the intelligence. For a man in the practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is certainly very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium towards both friend and enemy, but ultimately no worldly man can do so, for this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. In the Vedic literature, Katha Upanishad 1.3.3 to 4, it is said, Atmanam ratinam vidhi shariram ratham evacha buddhim tu sarathim vidhi mana pragraham evacha indriyani hayanahur vishayams te sugocharan atmendriya manoyuktam bhokteti ahur mani sinah. The individual is the passenger in the car of the material body, and intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument, and the senses are the horses. The self is thus the enjoyer or sufferer in the association of the mind and the senses. So it is understood by great thinkers. Intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind is so strong and obstinate that it often overcomes even one's own intelligence, as an acute infection may surpass the efficacy of medicine. Such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled by the practice of yoga, but such practice is never practical for a worldly person like Arjun. And what can we say of modern man? The simile used here is appropriate. One cannot capture the blowing wind, and it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent wind. The easiest ways to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Chaitanya, is chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance in all humility. The method prescribed is Savai Mana, Krishna Padara Vindayo. One must engage one's mind fully in Krishna. Only then will there remain no other engagements to agitate the mind. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this 33 and 34 go very hand in hand, where Arjuna bringing out an important point that he understood what are all the methods of dhyana yoga, sucho deshe kale. So that place, the position, sitting in a location, focusing his mind on the tip of his nostril, close eyes partially closed, and start meditating upon the Paramatma inside. All those aspects are all okay, but still he is saying the most important aspect is about controlling the mind, which is impossible. Okay. Chanchalavat sthitam sthiram. So it is not at all stable and is completely restless. Okay. So Prabhupada is bringing that understanding about how Arjuna's state of mind is. If 5,000 years ago itself is like this, in fact, we do not see what he was doing. Okay. So Prabhupada is making it is practically impossible for us now. This he wrote some 50, 60 years ago. Okay. Now it is much more worse, right? So it is getting worse only. So it is not definitely possible. Okay. So that is where Arjuna is making the point, 2 slokas. Okay. Because the mind is turbulent, restless, obstinate, and very strong. 4 different parameters are made. Okay. From a philosophical understanding of how mind is, it is completely restless. It's turbulent. Turbulent means going from the swing is so high. Just go here and there, and then it'll never be able to and then very strong also. So that is why Prabhupada is giving a wonderful analogy of even acute infection may surpass the efficiency of medicine. Okay, sometimes we get strong medicine, but still, if the medicine is not, if the infection is very strong, the effect of medicine will be waste. Then only they'll go for something called as operation or something like kind of steroids, whatever be the next worst thing that they're going to do, right? So depending upon the type of infection, then we have to understand. So this analogy Prabhupada is making a point that our own intelligence, our thought process, everything will just like that go for a toss because we are not able to control the mind. It is like so much of turbulence is there. So outwardly it may not know by external appearance or by external actions, everything we will not know. It is all within the head, within the brains. Okay, and then this Katha Upanishads, Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi Sariram Ratam Evacha. This you might have seen that, right? Atma sitting as a passenger, Buddhi is the intelligence, mind is the different ropes, and all the different horses are the different types of senses, right? So through the mind, the intelligence as a driver will try to pull the different horses running in different directions. So mind is also required. Intelligence has to be very, very effectively utilized to not get diverted here and there and just focus on where it will go. Okay. Same way we need to understand. And lastly, Prabhupada giving this easiest way to control the mind is when somebody is very angry, somebody is very happy, somebody is very tired, whatever be it, chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is the only solace we'll be able to. Savayavana Krishna Padara Vindayo, we can do that. Okay. And Krishna in this, we'll stop here today. We'll continue on Wednesday. So what is the result or what is the answer that Krishna is? Yes. Krishna, first point when Arjuna makes it that it is very difficult, Arjuna giving that point and Krishna immediately, yes, and Asham Sayam, undoubtedly it is very Duri Graham Chalam. Yes, He's not, he's like, no, yeah, it might be difficult, but no, he's like, yes, Arjuna, yes, definitely not possible. Is these two lines giving kind of intelligently giving back a response, right? Let's say you are in a very difficult situation and you are pouring out everything. The person who is listening to you should first accept your position and give him a solace. So these two lines and the next two lines are the medicine part. Let's say you go to the doctor. Doctor will say, yeah. First it will be, yeah, it is very tough only. You go to the doctor and say, I'm having heavy pain. Then doctor will say, no, this is all nothing pain. Okay, you are not supposed to get pain. Means what? You will simply say what? This doctor doesn't know anything, right? But here Krishna is the supreme doctor. He is saying, yes, it is difficult only, no doubt. Yeah, I can understand your pain. And what is a medicine? Abhyasena kaunteya vairagena krivyate. So first lines he is giving that solace or giving that particular comfortness to Arjuna. Yes, it is asamshayam. Yes, it will be difficult only. However, abhyasena kaunteya vairagena krivyate. Only through practice and vairagya, only through by detachment and determination, you will be able to control the mind. Okay. Is accepted by the Supreme Lord. Okay. And then he is giving this answer also. Yes, only through practice and determination. And how do we, Prabhupada will talk about detachment and attachment here. The attachment towards Krishna. This is also another workshop we will try to do in the next class. You put on Excel sheet or a column, attachment, detachment, and see how much you are getting to know about Krishna from an attachment perspective and how much oppositely detachment also. So in this, it should be equal or it should be more, whichever be it. The more the detachment means you know about what needs to be detached. The more about Krishna means is also good. Okay. So either way, you will see a very proportionate way of detachment versus attachment. Okay. That also we will try in the next session. Okay. Good. Right. I think in the next session we should be able to complete at least one portion of this particular section. Okay. And after that, the last section is about Arjuna asking about what will happen to the different yogis, what will happen if there is unsuccessful, how it will be done and all, the last section. Okay, Hare Krishna. I think today we'll stop here. Any specific realization? So today you just think about whatever we spoke, understand about how Prabhupada brings about the practical ways and tips of controlling the mind. Krishna is also bringing importance of how do we see others, how the yogi will perform, how the yogi will act, how yogi will see different personalities, and how yogi will see the same Paramatma inside everybody, how the yogi will control his mind. And Arjuna is bringing out that point is very difficult, but Krishna is making that point. Yes, it is difficult, but you will be able to do it through Abhyasam and Vairagya. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is what we saw. The last section we talk about regulated and non-regulated way, and then what if one fails. These are the next three main topics. What happens in next birth? What happens if one fails? In this particular section.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, one just quick question. The transmigration of the soul, if you have been in Krishna consciousness, the soul will go up. If otherwise, it will in the next birth it will fall down. But the same soul, whether it is in the tree or in the, let us say, the animal like the goat, or in the human being, or in a Krishna conscious person, it has got various levels of consciousness.
Correct, Prabhu. So, for example, if it is in a non-immovable one, okay. For example, tree. So, tree means it has got its consciousness. It will, let's say, it is undergoing that particular lifespan to give away that particular karma balance or to reaction of that karma balance. It will go, and after that, what will happen is based upon the prarabdha karma or samchita karma, whatever that was actually supposed to go in the next life birth, it will take it up. For example, this birth, it has to be in tree form so that the karma balance clearance will happen. Afterwards, it will again take up to your next higher birth. From a tree, it will become a small animal or a small insect or whatever be it. And from that insect to an animal to a bird to a larger four-legged animals to a four-legged animal to a four-legged intelligent animal. Like that, it will keep on progressively coming and then it will achieve a human form. Okay, let's say if you are in an animal form, the consciousness and then the intelligence is little more higher compared to the tree or any other thing. Okay, and based upon the karma balance, karma reaction, everything, then it will again go for a cycle and it will get an opportunity to get the human form. So all living entities will definitely have the opportunity of getting into the human form at some point of the time, based upon the karma reaction and then the balance of how they are doing it. It will come to that position. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So other point was, it's not that all persons in Krishna consciousness go to higher planets. No. Even if you do good karma, to enjoy that good karma, you will go to higher planets. Sometimes if you are in Krishna consciousness, you can be in this Bhulokam also. You can come back, but you will be associated with nice devotees. Your Krishna consciousness will continue as it is. You will be positioned in a very nice association of devotees, a nice temple atmosphere. You will get a lot of, so whatever be it, accordingly, the credit balance of your Krishna consciousness will be accordingly positioned.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Amdapur Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.